Well, hello, friends and neighbors from around the world. Sid Hi here again, and today's sermon is entitled Useful Charts Post-Gutenberg Press. This is really an addendum to my video, Gutenberg Press to AI Part 1. These useful charts that I'm about to show you really help to visualize what happened after the Gutenberg Press was invented and how the growth of new religions exploded. So here they are. So here is a copy of my useful chart on world religions family tree. I spoke about that in a different video, but I don't think I left a link to the useful charts. So I thought I'd just do a video on it and show everyone. So this is really interesting to me that we zoom in here and you start seeing Christianity and all of the branches of it. But if you come on down here, you start seeing what happened after the Gutenberg Press was invented. And sure enough, just as the Catholic Church worried, many other denominations would spring up from this. And it's quite extensive. Now I'm going to switch over to another chart. Here is the useful chart on Christian denominations family tree. So wow, you can really see how it's split out here with all sorts of different beliefs happening, but they still have at their core the commonalities. So I'm going to just come over here to the Roman Catholic Church section for a second and just see all of these different denominations coming down here to Protestants, which started happening after the invention of the Gutenberg Press. And I'll leave it to you all if you want to go out and look at this, but one of the other things I found very interesting was coming down here to the Baptist section, which happened starting roughly around 1800 and moving on. I don't have the exact dates, but some of them are on here, but it's just amazing to me how many different versions of even the Baptist religions have happened. So anyway, I just thought I would share this with everyone. And if you'd like to look into it further, that would be great. Pretty impressive, I think. Copilot AI tells me that by 1776, over 100 editions of the Bible in English had been printed since William Tyndale's first translation in 1526. The Bible existed in multiple translations and editions across multiple languages and theological traditions. The diversity reflected both the fragmentation of Christianity and the growing accessibility of Scripture. This is amazing to me as I hear many Christians say that the Bible is infallible. Really? Which one? They can't all be infallible as they all have differences. And it seems to be that the same with the concept of God. The first commandment states, "You shall have no other gods before me," implying that there is only one God to believe in, but multiple different gods. But different denominations have different views on the concept of God, so it implies that there are different versions of the Christian God as well. Quite a conundrum, it seems to me. So, the Bible that stands out the most to me is this one right here, the Jefferson Bible, Morals of Jesus, which is the life and morals of Jesus of Nazareth, extracted textually from the Gospels in Greek, Latin, French, and English. Basically, Jefferson created a curated collage of gospel passages that Jefferson personally selected, cut, and pasted to reflect what he believed were the pure moral teachings of Jesus, stripped of supernatural elements. He removed the text about miracles, no virgin birth, no resurrection, no walking on water. Jefferson excluded anything he considered contrary to reason. That's a really important point there too. He excluded divine claims. This portrayed Jesus as a moral philosopher, not the Son of God. He focused on ethics, Jefferson emphasized teachings like love, forgiveness, humility, and justice. Sound familiar? Oh, yeah, the commonalities. How about that? Jefferson admired Jesus as a moral teacher, but he was deeply skeptical of organized religion and what he called the corruptions added by early church leaders. He was such a smart guy. The Jefferson Bible was never published in his lifetime, but it was later printed by Congress in the early 20th century. It is often cited in debates about religion and politics, especially regarding the Founding Fathers' view on faith. Today, it is a symbol of religious rationalism, deism, and the tension between faith and reason in American history. While Jefferson completed his Bible around 1820, it seems to reflect his views of Jesus as opposed to the many different Christian views of God and Jesus. And while the U.S. Constitution makes no direct reference to God, unlike the Declaration of Independence, which famously refers to nature's God and the Creator, the Constitution is entirely secular in its language. And while it's not a Bible, the Bible according to Mark Twain, is a great read. Twain critiques biblical literalism and religious hypocrisy. Twain acknowledged that some of these pieces would be considered heretical in any age. Many selections, including Letters from the Earth, were unpublished during Twain's lifetime due to their controversial nature. When I look at all these different versions of Christianity, the scary thing that many believe that their version is the only true version. And if you take the first commandment seriously, then a believer is literally required to reject any view of God that is even slightly different from their belief. Using these differences is where the propagandists can fan the flames of hatred and violence against those that have different views, which is directly the opposite of Jesus' teachings. There are groups that call themselves Christians that pick and choose the parts of their Bible that fit what they want to believe or are told to believe, while totally rejecting Jesus' teachings and the commonalities as they relate to Jesus' teachings. I refer to these individuals and groups as CINOs, Christian in name only, because they are not Christians if by Christian you mean followers of Jesus' teachings. There are groups that have hijacked the name Christianity and are hiding behind what the term Christian really means to promote evil and hatred. There is nothing Christ-like about them, yet they continue to call themselves Christians. This is where I say to you Christians that follow Jesus' teachings, take back your religion. Call out the people that are falsely claiming to be Christians while spewing hate and evil. Do not let the propagandists control the narrative, but remember that a propagandist will do whatever is necessary to warp an individual or group reality into what they want you to believe. Lies, deceit, violence, whatever it takes. Once the propagandist has enough followers, they will use the group's power to try to suppress all that have different reality. One tactic that propagandists exploit is the mindset of, my God is better than your God. Another tactic is to control access to information through the media. The propagandists will do everything they can to keep you from seeing the results of their actions. And if you do see the results of their actions, they basically will say, and I'm quoting the great Groucho Marx here, philosopher extraordinaire, who you going to believe, me or your lying eyes? The insidious evil that propagandists will stoop to in an effort to achieve their goal cannot be overstated. We can see the results of these propaganda campaigns. It breaks down civil society. Calling out the evil of propaganda and educating ourselves in its sinister techniques is critical in maintaining a civil, free society. While this should be common sense to everyone, many religions implore looking at the actions of a group or individual and not just to listen to their words. So important. I did a short video in which I stated, many people come up to me and tell me they are Christian. I just want to say, you don't need to do that. If you're a Christian, I'll see it. And this is exactly what I meant. Words mean nothing if they are not backed up by actions. However the commonalities are stated in your religion or moral beliefs, use them to evaluate the words and actions of groups and individuals. This will allow you to see through the misinformation and lies that propagandists feed on. And once you see through it, you must speak out about it, otherwise the misinformation will continue to spread. While this is a huge step and can be a dangerous step, it is a necessary step if we are to keep our world from sliding into another dark ages. Freedom isn't free, it must be earned. So I am calling upon everyone of all faiths to earn it, else face the consequences of your inaction.